let's discuss our new service, Repair, Revive and Refresh. Now, we are offering this service to help increase the longevity and the wear of your topper. Now, all 100% hand-tied and silk-based lace or silk pieces, the hair's hooked. So how it works, this is a silk top. Underneath this layer of silk, there's a layer of lace. The worker at the factory takes the hair, does a little double knot, pulls it through the lace, repeats until the whole lace section is hand tied. They then put a layer of silk over that so you don't have those lace. Some people don't like the appearance of lace. I personally don't. Those little holes, the little hooks, they think it looks uneven. That's why we prefer silk. Silk goes over the lace, the hairs are then hooked through the lace and back out. That's how it works. Now, there's no glue, there's no special machine. It's extremely delicate. Now, I re-emphasize, it's not just perfect fringe toppers, it's all the hand-tied lace and silk products in the entire wide world, because they're all made in the same way at the factories. Now, if I was to take a hair and I was to pull, I'm not going to do it, and it will just come out like really easily. So we wear our hair to death. Some of you only have one topper. We wear it, we comb it, we run our fingers through it, we wash it, we shampoo it, we blow dry, we're using our hair. So it's almost inevitable that you're not going to get a little bit of hair loss. Now, the odd hair here and there, like even as I'm doing this, you get the odd hair, that's normal, okay? When you first get your topper, if there was an actual genuine fault, first of all, I personally wash and colour and shampoo and condition and colour and style all of it. So it's passed through my hands. I never just go factory, box, buyer. I've never done that. So if there's a genuine problem, chances are I'm going to spot it. And the way I would know is as I'm doing my work, working on it and running my fingers through it, washing it, an unusual amount of hair will be coming out. Now that's to say I'll be doing that and I'll be getting at least 5-6 hairs every time. You see that? That's one hair, that's normal. But if I do that and more than one, or maybe like 4 or 5 come out, I think, okay, let me run again. Sometimes the workers hook and then pluck a few to create a more natural looking hairline, and then they don't wash out. So I'll try again. If that keeps happening, at that point that goes straight back to the supplier. I won't work with it because I know it's problematic. Now, wear and tear, here is the difficult part. Imagine you're doing up your coat, you're doing up your button, and you do up your button, you undo it, you do it up, you undo it. At some point that button's going to become loose. It's called wear and tear. If you've had your topper a few months, it's wear and tear. If you get it and it's only been a week and it's fresh out the box, that's a fault. Now, we're a really fair company, so we're never going to go, oh, it's your fault, we're not going to do that, because the way I like to think is I like to put myself in your shoes. And I like to think, right, if that was me and I purchased it and after a month there was a humongous bald spot, that's not wear and tear. So I like to be fair, so we'll always have that conversation. But what I can't do is I can't be responsible for all the toppers that I create, thousands and thousands of toppers that go out, wear and tear, little bald patches, a bit of hair loss here and there, all coming back to me and saying there's a fault. Because it's that really muddy fine line where my supplier will say, no, your clients have worn it, we don't know how they've looked after it. Because I can only go back to my supplier. I don't hook these myself, so all I can do is say to my supplier, look, there's a problem. Now they'll say, we don't know how your client looks after it. And the thing is, I can never really know either. Now, I'm not one to point fingers, but the reality is I don't know if the person's taken it off their head and brushed it really, harshly, or put conditioner and oils on the knots, or sort of pulled it off and yanked some of the hair. I don't know what the buyers have done. So what I like to do is I like to pre-warn you, give you all the information that you need. It's in the care guide, tell you how to look after it, warn you of how delicate it is. And then if there is a fault that occurs with wear and tear after a few months of wear, then I'm going to offer the repair service, which is going to hopefully help the buyer not be stuck. Because what's really unhelpful is, okay, there's a bald spot, and me going, well, I don't know, I can't rehook. My supplier going, well, you know, they did it, it's wear and tear. You going, I've only had it a few months. So it's that wiggle room. Now, we're not going to make any profit on this repair. It's literally going to be cost of shipping internationally, goes back to the factory, cost of the hair to be hooked back on, cost. So no one's going to make a profit, but no one's going to be out of pocket. We believe in fair trade. So the workers that are going to rehook need to be paid for their time. Now, to save and to keep the cost as super low as possible with this repair service, we're going to offer a couple of different options. So how is it going to work? Okay, before we get into how that's going to work, a couple of pointers. When you're brushing your hair topper, take it off your head, hold this bit here and just brush from the ends down. That way you're not yanking. Me personally, when it's on my head, I do this, I hold it and then I brush ends down. Detangling sprays, all of that helps. Now, a nice clarifying shampoo, that's fine. Conditioner and oils avoid the hand-tied section, but the most important thing is when you are brushing, super gentle. This is all in your care guide, so I won't bore you too much in this video because I really want to discuss the service. And another thing is don't use a blow dryer, tension, traction, where anything that involves tension, so the blow dryer gun, you should always just let it air dry and then use like a, you know, a hot iron or something just to style the ends, but never pull. It's not like real hair off your head where you need to go and have a really good blow dry with lots of tension. So nothing that yanks. Okay, so hopefully all of that helps you. So prevention is better than cure, because here's the thing, once the hairs start getting lost, it does create a little bit of a domino effect because it really weakens that area. I've had this particular one about 6 months and I have absolutely no hair loss. In fact, I've never had any balding on any of my toppers. I would say in the thousands that I've sold, I've seen about 10 cases where there's been a bald spot of some sort, but most of the time my clients will be really honest and say, I think I know why I did that. And I'll say, no problem, no worries. You can always add some fibres, sprinkle over, change the part line. You can hide and conceal it. Now, we don't say your toppers last forever. We say they last 1 to 2 years. That's at the point of purchase, what we say, because it's hair and it's delicately hand-tied hair. It won't last forever. And if you have 5 toppers versus if you have only 1 topper, that 1 topper will be taking much more of a physical beating as opposed to the others with regards to the wear and tear. So the repair service, what does it consist of? So firstly, you're going to ask yourself, look, is it worth it? Is it worth the price? Is it old? Do I love this topper? Is it my favorite topper? You know, I've had it for 2.5 years. Do I really want to invest more money in it, or shall I just change the part line, sprinkle some fibres, make do with it, wear it half up, half down, sort of, you know, change the style in a way, and then do I want to get that R&R, repair, revive, refresh service money into a new one? So that's only up to you. I will always advise we have a little video consult because I kind of want to ask you what you've been doing with the topper. Now, that's not me accusing you and saying, how did you look after your topper? For me, you know, I'm just a really fair person, but it's important that you know, because if you then buy your 2nd or 3rd topper, we need to know where you went wrong along the line. I mean, one woman, she was completely baffled what happened to her topper till she pointed out that she was using the hot air wrap, not the windy one, the one that really pulls, the blow dry brush. And when she told me that, I was like, I'm sorry, but that's what it is. And she's like, oh, that's what it was. But now she knows, future toppers, she won't do that again. So like I said, it's not a me telling you off kind of thing. It's us figuring it out together and figuring out what went wrong, just for your own sake, for your future purchases. Oil, some people go, oh, I put an oil mask on and I left it overnight. It's like, okay, then maybe don't do that again. So if you feel you've only had it a year, you love the topper, you really don't have the money for a new one, and you want to do the refresh service, this is how it works. There's going to be 2 services, and we really are keeping it as cheap as we can. And like I said, nobody makes a profit here. Everybody is just paid fairly for their time. There's going to be no pointing fingers saying it was your fault, or the factory saying it was your client's fault, the client saying it's Perfect Range's fault. This is just something that's going to happen. It's like tights get ripped, buttons come loose. Unfortunately, hairs get lost. It's what you have to expect when you are buying a silk or a lace product, unless it's really new and you're doing that and lots of hairs are coming out. Okay, in which case, you know, we'll chat and we will sort out a solution. So 2 services. So how it's going to work is every 4 to 6 weeks, usually 6 weeks, I'm going to release the date. I'm going to say, ladies, on the 1st of October, anyone who has wanted to send their topper in for a repair, send them in. We'll have a little video chat. We'll discuss which service you're going to want. Once I get all the toppers back, so say there's 5 people who want their toppers repaired, Obviously, everything's going to be named and clearly identified. You're going to all send them back to me. So for example, Katie Smith, you know, just wants the round little circle repaired, no cuts, no customizations, and so on. And then what I do is I'm going to ship them all to my supplier in bulk. Reason we do that is to save on the international freight charge. They then repair everything as towards how we've told them, and then they all come back to me, and at that point I either ship them straight off to you or we do an additional service to them. 2 services are available to you. The first is really basic, we rehook only. So for example, you've got a nice black topper, a little tiny bald patch, we fix the bald patch, we look for the dark hairs to match as closely as we can, because we're taking hairs from a different bundle from, you know, the hair stock that we've got right now. The factory will do this. It'll be super close, you won't be able to tell a difference if it's one color. Now that's hooking only. That then comes back to us, we don't do anything with it, we don't wash, condition, style, nothing. So the same way we got it, gets it rehooked, it goes back to you. Will you have a lovely, beautiful smelling styled topper? No, but would you have saved money? Yes, because you're not asking for that additional. It's like going to the hairdresser and saying, I only want a cut, I don't want a style and a finish. Okay, that's the cheapest way. That might be good if you've got a virgin topper, it doesn't need any styling. You know, if you wash and condition it yourself and it's just a virgin dark brown, you know it will dry really beautifully. You really don't care about the bells and whistles, you just want the hooking fix. That's perfect for you because that will save you money. Do you have a blonde topper with an added darker root? Do you also want that to be finished nicely and maybe possibly cut? Then you need the second option, which is where I add an R&R after it's been repaired. So the repair service will be the same fee. I haven't figured out what that is yet. That will of course be detailed and added to the listing. At the time of filming this video, I am still in talks with my supplier about how we're going to do this as cost effectively as possible. But if you opted for the premium service where your hair is hooked, but then it needs to pass through my hands to fix the color work. So say for example, you've got a blonde ombre and you got the we rehooked blonde hairs in, you might need that service because I need to then get that dye that I used to dye the others. The factory won't colour in the roots. They won't have hairs that are blonde with a dark tip. And if they do, I don't know if I trust how well that would look. So I think at that point you'd need the full service where I then get it, colour in, make sure everything matches, and then we can do a proper R&R. So we wash, we condition, we cut, we style, and then you get it back feeling like, oh yes, this has really been, it's like it's really been dry cleaned and it smells amazing, and then you get all the little extras. Will you pay more? Yeah, because I need to be paid for my time to do that. Okay, so that's really what we're looking at doing things now. It's offering a well-needed repair service, and that's not to say the pieces are faulty. It's to say that it's almost like when you buy a really lovely fancy bag. Okay, I mean in the past I bought, say, I don't know, who was it I bought with? I think it was Gucci. It was a long time ago. I got my first ever bag, and I was like, look, how do I keep this clean? What about if anything happens to it? Obviously you spend a lot of money, that's a concern. You can't go back to Gucci or Prada after 6-7 months of using this bag and saying it's a bit tatty, it's a bit creased. But they do offer repair services where they send it back to Italy or the point of manufacture. They get it nicely done for you. So it's like, it's a repair service. It's a revive, refresh service. It's like a service. It keeps the product going longer for you. But we're not saying your piece was faulty. We're saying the hairs have been lost through wear and tear. Unless, like I said, it's from the very, very beginning and something's up. And I'm never going to go la 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 la. I'm always going to go, ooh, that shouldn't have happened. And clients who have been with me a long time, they know I'm really fair like that. So let us summarize. Have a good think if you really want to invest in this service. Have a good think if it's cost effective. And also, if you only have one top, I really think about getting yourself a backup. It doesn't have to be an expensive perfect fringe one. It can be a Amazon, cheapy one to keep you going. We are saying time frame is going to be 8 weeks. That's from us receiving, shipping back internationally, then fixing all of them, shipping them back. Shouldn't take 8 weeks, but that's what we're saying. And once they're all sent off, we can't expedite, we can't cancel once they're on their way back to our supplier to do their job. Is it worthwhile? Only you can really answer that. I can help you decide if we have a video chat, and we can decide whether or not we think that's going to be worthwhile given the age of your topper. And I really think it's going to be a very useful service for people, and it's worth mentioning. It's probably only going to be a UK service. only because of customs. So we're going to have that problem of, you know, when it hits the border, then they're going to want customs duties when we then ship it back to you. After the repair, they're going to ask for customs because we're going to insure it. So I mean, unless you are absolutely desperate, and again, we will speak, this is mainly going to be a UK service. I think it's a bit like the R&R service, that is only UK service. But I think it will be quite useful, and it will only be for perfect fringe toppers. We will not repair any others. Now, it's also worth adding, we're not the only people in the world that will repair. There are plenty of repair services internationally who will take it, rehook, repair, people whose job that is, and you never know, it might be cheaper, but we are only charging what we are charged, not a penny more, and everybody gets paid for their time. So the hooking for the hooking time, if I have to recolor and then recut again for my time, and then the postage again, it will all be factored into the price, which is going to be detailed below and set out as 2 different services: hooking only, and then the bells, whistles, the colour work, all the other bits and bobs. If it was me, what would I choose? I'd probably want the bits and bobs, to be honest, but if it was a plain colour like this, you should just get the hooking done. It will be so easy just to wash, condition and dry it yourself. So I really hope that has helped. I think this service is going to be really, really useful for people, and like I said, it's really important to understand that this is just a part of this type of workmanship. It really is unavoidable. I mean, I love my things to be absolutely perfect, but there's just some things I have no control over. You know, a bit like if you bleach something, it's going to dry out. There's just some things we just cannot control, and losing hairs is one of them. Please, I've said it before, be super gentle with your pieces from the get-go, and I mean really, really gentle. Not anything that pulls will pull that hair. It's a knot, it's tied in, it's not glued in. So just super, super, super gentle. Really hold and brush like so. That way you can't lose. No tension from the very top. So I hope this has been of some help to you, and I basically think it's a good idea to start with a video consult. Let's have that chat and let's take it from there. Love to you all. I hope that's helped. All the best, and bye for now.